Snow in Colorado this week? The answer is a 100% chance. How do we know? The LRC. There's a river of air above us cycling regularly, and we can go back and I will show you how this pattern already did produce snow in the first cycle, and it looks almost identical to it now. Let's take a look and see what's going on and what's going to happen. All right, we will start with snow is likely in Denver in this May 3rd report. Wow, this is a screenshot taken from one of our customers in mid-February. Our Weather 2020 LRC patent pending system and model. You can see here we did predict, the LRC model predicted that there would be a cold spell at the beginning of May, a late freeze and frost, and this prediction was made back in mid-February. So this is the model that you can have as your part of your weather tool chest. More on that at the end. The LRC, where are we right now? Let's take a look. You're looking at the flow 18,000 feet up in the atmosphere. We call it the 500 millibar level, right? 500 millibar level, you can see down here. Here is where a storm system occurred on November the 22nd. Notice how this one, in cycle 2 of the pattern, about 76 days later, is in the exact same spot, just a slightly different strength to it. And then we go to April 30th. Here we are again, another system. All right, so all 3 cycles. In the second cycle, it produced a tornado outbreak for Louisiana and severe weather back across Texas. Well, look at what just happened in this cycle, as you can see here. What is that? That is a 100 mile per hour wind near the Gulf Coast of Texas, Point Comfort, Texas. This line of thunderstorms moved out over the Gulf and produced a water spout outbreak. So tornado outbreak in cycle 2, this time severe weather and water spouts in this cycle. So what's lining up this week? Incredible. For those of you that are new to the LRC, look at this closely. This is the forecast for coming up right now as we move in to Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo, a low developing back to the southwest. But look, similar pattern that happened in cycle 1. And what happened in cycle 1 on December 3rd? Denver had snow. 4.3 inches in Golden, Colorado, where I live. So May 5th, cycle 3. 153 days after this in cycle 1. And remember, it's a 75 to 76 day cycle. What happened in that middle cycle 2? That severe weather outbreak we just showed. So what's going to develop right now, as you can see here, a low pressure area is going to be developing. So we're going to look at the surface maps now. I'll show you the pattern that's setting up. Again, confidence is nearly 100% that is going to snow in May in here in Denver area, and maybe 10 inches of snow in the foothills right near where I live. So it's got my attention for sure. So let's take a look at this again. You can see here, right now, as you look at this next map, take this again full, you can see that a low pressure area is forecast to develop by Monday night over northern Oklahoma. A warm front over southern Missouri, extending up to a sort of stationary front through the Ohio Valley. A cold rain with a few thunderstorms possible Monday evening across eastern Kansas and western Missouri. And then the blue here showing some snow developing Monday night or Tuesday up near the Wyoming border. By Wednesday, the front sags down into North Texas. Strong thunderstorms may break out near this front in the southeast. The storm is sort of weakening, as it has done all season long. That's why it's always suspect for snow. But the fact this has produced snow in this part of the pattern gives me high confidence it's going to do so again. And you can see here, snow across eastern Colorado extending into western Kansas, where we really need some moisture. So this is a forecast for Wednesday. All right, then you can see 30s to 40s If it's cloudy and wet, it's going to be only in the 40s over Kansas City even maybe. We'll see how it times out, but the cold weather in the Rockies. How much precipitation? About an inch liquid. The blues are a ½ inch to 2 inches liquid. So 1/2 inch to 2 inches liquid over eastern Colorado. Kansas City, depending on what model you look at, 1/4 inch here and an inch or two in other models. So, but North Dakota, Minnesota are going to be dry in this part of the pattern. All right, I live right here. Okay, look at that. This model shows 3 to 6 inches of snow. This is the American model, the GFS model, by Wednesday night. The European model extends the snow out into western Kansas also. Some areas that really need moisture over southwest Nebraska. And look at what the European model has. I live here, remember, right there. About 10 inches of snow. Those snowflakes will be huge. Well, we'll see about this amount, but pretty fascinating weather pattern. This is from the European model. So the European model and the American model have snow over Colorado, extending into western Kansas. Here again is that forecast by our LRC model. It did get down to 29 degrees. The forecast was for it to get down to about 29 degrees. And this is a forecast made 75 days in advance. All right, so the LRC model is more accurate than the GFS and European model I just showed you. For Iowa, you can see the forecast now through September. This is a week-by-week analysis. For North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota, 5 inches of liquid precipitation rain in southwest South Dakota, 21 inches in northeast Minnesota. So quite a range there from way below average to above average. Hurricane season is beginning. If you're interested, Weather 2020 makes these hurricane forecasts with the LRC. We have been the most accurate from 2022 to 2024, a 3-year run. Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, and Dolly are the first 4 names of the season, but we're only predicting 8 to 12 named storms. So it'll get to around Hannah and Isiasis, so Isias, whatever that name is, we'll probably get to it. We had one about 7 years ago, if you remember the name that. Josephine, and maybe not past Kyle. 8 to 12 named storms, hurricanes 4 to 7, 2 to 3 major hurricanes. 105 is our forecast accumulated cyclone energy, which is below the average of 123 this season. If you're interested, email us at hello@weather2020.com or go to weather2020.com and we'll get you set up with that dashboard or our other products. If you want the hurricane forecast for us to track it, we'll track that as well. So there's a quick update for you. I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak. Join weather2020.substack.com. I'll put that link in here. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, and we'll keep you updated. The weather pattern is cycling. There is an order to the chaos, and we have cracked that code with the LRC. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day. We'll have a full update in our Weather 2020 Intelligence Report Tuesday.